miss you.
Stuck a couple Bitcoin.
Money though.
Pull up on my Nakamoto.
Hello. Welcome to the Blockchain Dynamics Show.
Hello. Welcome.
My name is Brandon Doge.
And I'm Woody.
And you guys are listening to us on Error by Trial Radio.
That's right. It's Sunday, January 8th, 2017.
Yeah, that's right. Episode number 45 is what we're doing here. And shows are going to be on Sunday now.
That's right. Sunday, usually at 3 p.m., but, sometimes we got to move it. Got stuff going on.
Yep, that's pretty much the deal. We're also are really excited to be here today with our guest, Bitcoin Dad.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Great.
I'm doing great, man.
We really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and talk about coins with us today.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate the invite.
The Twitter there is at Bitcoin_dad, so check him out. You're probably
as if you
following
didn't
him
already know.
Yeah.
Okay. But this week's show is brought to you by Cryptopia over at cryptopia.co.nz.
Cryptopia, it's a really dope altcoin platform. They do have a great exchange, but they also have a ton of other features, including coin information. Like they have a block explorer for every coin they carry. It's really dope.
Yep, they got arbitrage across exchange information. They got a marketplace, mining pools, forums, and some term deposits. I finally got my first DOT term deposit today.
Signed up for term deposits, man. Bold move. I love it.
I figured why not? It'd be fun.
So yeah, our home base here at Blockchain Dynamics is our thread in the Cryptopia forums. Go ahead, click on their forums, jump on over to the altcoin section. We're stickied up there at the top, and leave us a comment, say anything, make fun of us, do whatever you want, really.
Yes. Just get in contact, and we'll hook you up with some dots for participating.
That's 2,500 of those sweet, sweet dots.
And then we also are currently accepting votes for our Wolong Awards, which is just kind of an informal, fun kind of award ceremony we're going to be doing at the end of the month. You can go over to blockchaindynamics.net, up in the top right corner, Wolong Awards, vote, and go ahead and just fill out the form for some coins that you want to vote for. Remember, we didn't nominate them, so...
Yep, community nominated, community voted.
But it's been fun.
And we're going to read those out on show number, 50?
Yep, that's right.
Sweet.
Also, be on the lookout for a 500 Mineum giveaway later in the show.
Yeah, big thanks to the crew over at Mineum. They gave us some Mineum to give away, and if you keep listening, we'll explain how you can get it.
Okay, moving right along.
Starting up with the good stuff, the content.
The second look. We like to go back and take looks at coins periodically that we just aren't very familiar with, because there's been so many of them. Oftentimes, coins become pretty successful that we just never took the time to really check out.
It's true.
And there's other reasons to take second looks at coins as well. Today, we're going to look at
SiaCoin. Do you know anything about SiaCoin, Bitcoin Dad?
I haven't really kept up with it recently, just that it's, the storage type coin, similar to, I guess, MAID, storage. Recently been getting some attention. Looks like it finally hit the bottom here.
Yeah, it's an interesting coin, really high supply, so it's kind of got that low supply, low Satoshi thing going for it. Like you said, the decentralized storage is the theme. This one launched in June of 2015.
Okay.
And I never really paid too much attention to it when it launched because, to be honest, I was just kind of knee-deep in really shitty coins at this point in my life.
Right.
I remember at this point I was trading Positron. I actually like Positron, but I was trading Positron, like 8-bit, Neutron, and those coins were banking back at the time, so I really didn't even think about looking at SiaCoin. And I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't, because looking at it now, it's really a pretty badass project.
Sure, yeah. Well, one mistake that I made at that point in time maybe was a lot of these projects that seem more ambitious, I just assumed that they were overly ambitious, maybe, right off the bat. Which, but that's part of the high-reward, high-risk thing, I guess, at the beginning of anything.
Yeah, I think I was a little more skeptical in general back then, which probably contributed to me not really looking at this coin as much. But as far as the coin itself goes, the idea here is you're going to download the wallet, and then you can basically host files on the SiaCoin blockchain through the wallet.
Yeah, I downloaded the wallet and checked it out. I didn't manage to get synced in time for the show, so I didn't get to test the functionality out, but I got to press some buttons, and basically after you create the wallet, you would fund it, of course, and then you can press another button that sort of moves the funds from your wallet address into, I don't know what to call it, another spot for actually hosting files. And then you host the file, and then that balance slowly goes down over time. And when it runs out, you can actually lose access to your files. I found that interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like if you don't keep your wallet filled up while it's going down, they'll just delete the files, which kind of makes sense, but I didn't realize that level of maintenance would be involved necessarily. I found it interesting that it was coded in that Golang.
Yeah, that's like one of the things I look for now in new coins. Not necessarily just what language it's coded in, but the fact that it uses a unique code base is like has turned out to be, at least in the long term, a huge selling point, I think. Interestingly, only about 0.15% of SiaCoin are actually used for the storage service right now.
Huh, that's not too surprising, though, I guess.
I think that's par for the course. I don't know about you guys, but I can't think of any service-based crypto that has actually found people using the majority of it for the service, like, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does have really good volume on Poloniex and Unb, and it's like an obvious pump coin, I guess, at this point. So it's kind of fun in that way.
Right. Some people made some money today or something, yesterday, one of those days.
Yeah, I panic bought some. We'll see how it works.
Perfect.
I'm trying to... I've never played like the breakout catching game, and so I thought I would try to do that with SiaCoin, and I bought some like at 38 when it first jumped over 38.
Or not panic buy, right, as Noose was saying, the precision FOMO.
Yeah, totally. It was a total precision FOMO move, and it's like right at where I bought in now, so I'm kind of nervous about it, but we'll see what happens.
Not much else to say about it, really. Definitely take a look at it if you aren't familiar, and let us know if there's anything else we should know about it.
Yeah, it's got interesting mining, really slow blocks. I think it's like 30 minutes per block, which is kind of cool because you're like...
oh, wow, I had no idea about that.
Yeah, you think about
It was that slow.
You think about a coin that's not really based on being like transactionally competitive, you know? It doesn't need to have fast blocks, right? The point of it is to store people's data. So why bloat the blockchain with, 1 minute blocks or whatever? I think that's a cool choice.
Huh.
Really high rewards. The mining never stops. And it's on the Blake algorithm, so it's a little bit different there too. So yeah, interesting project. It's one that I'm really glad I looked at, and I'll probably FOMO back out of it once my trade goes underwater, but
yeah,
I'm still going to keep an eye on it.
We're going to move into our news and stuff segment.
Yep, a really eventful week, obviously.
Yeah, we're always looking for other bits of news. Feel free to send news in to us that you'd like to hear on the show. Up at the top of the list, we noticed the GridCoin Roadmap getting an update for 2017. They are going to... It says get more devs, or more devs will come, which I found interesting. So they're planning on more people getting involved, but it doesn't elaborate much on that. They're going to apparently create an Electrum client.
That's cool.
They're going to give their Linux client all of the abilities that their Windows client currently has. Apparently it's sort of a stripped-down version. It doesn't include their voting and some other features that the blockchain has. The community is also voting on a whole bunch of stuff. They had this huge list that I looked through, and some of it was totally unrelated to GridCoin, like just sort of asking some political questions and some just like personal questions from the GridCoin community. But then at the end of the list, there were some about how they're going to use certain funds that I guess they've raised, and mostly it's just for promotional stuff. But it's cool to see people kind of at whatever level utilizing that function of a blockchain, I think. I've rarely actually seen people voting on things, except outside of, Ethereum and blockchains that I guess everyone knows about. Finally, they said that they were going to store documents in the chain.
Yeah, all right.
That was pretty, I felt like not a lot of info there, but that's on the roadmap.
That seems like kind of an interesting departure, because GridCoin's supposed to be like a research coin, I think. Isn't that kind of the theme to it?
Yeah, and it seems like it still at least primarily is, but maybe in order to be competitive, they are sort of branching off into a more, I guess, different area of blockchain technology.
Yes, have you ever messed with GridCoin, Bitcoin Dad?
Yeah, I have. I have a position currently, but the research coin seems to kind of be picking up interest recently. That folding coin, CareerCoin. So I did pick up some actually, but I like what they got going on and their updates. It's taking a little different turn at things like you're saying, but I like what it's doing. It still has, for me, compared to some of the other coins, I think it has like a $2 million market cap. So it's compared to the others, it's up there. But I really like what the project's all about and what they're doing.
Yeah, I've always really liked research coins too, just from like the perspective of what else can I do with a blockchain? What are some of the cool, like, weird, crazy things we can come up with? And I think folding coin you mentioned is doing some cool shit. GridCoin also really cool. But I also, from the perspective of the markets, I can't imagine like what would be the what's the pretense for these coins even having such huge market caps. Like, it's cool that they're doing the research, but how do you market that?
Yeah, how do you value that?
Yep.
Well,
exactly.
and maybe adding some of these other features in does sort of help with that as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Make it a little,
over a period of time,
a little more diverse. So I get it.
And that was kind of the 2017. They wrote stuff out all the way through 2018 into 2019. I won't exactly go through that, but needless to say, they're saying they're going to keep working on it, which is always great to see in a cryptocurrency.
Yeah. That's always one of my things I like to see is development long term. I mean, GridCoin's been around since 2013. They're pretty transparent. They're getting updates out there, so I like coins like this. Usually solid coins, and the risk isn't as much as some of these newer coins coming out.
Well, it kind of works out in crypto. It's funny, like, it doesn't really matter what your coin does. If it does something and you stick with it for long enough, you're going to get traction. And it's kind of an interesting thing that I've noticed. Like, as long as there's actual real development and your coin is doing something cool and a little bit unique, there's going to be people who take notice, which is one of the things that I kind of really like about the scene.
And that's where the patience comes in. You just got to kind of hang in there, but it will have its spotlight. It's have its time to shine at some point.
Exactly. It'll pump, and then everyone will notice it and probably buy too high. But
all dogs go to heaven, and all coins pump.
And then go to zero.
Yeah, and then go to zero. SysCoin also released an update to their roadmap this week.
Yeah, another cool older school. I think this is a 2014 IPO coin, SysCoin. They have a huge new roadmap going on. We're talking about ongoing partnerships.
Yep. They're throwing around Microsoft's name quite a bit in there, saying they developed a marketplace API to interact with the market they're planning to release this year, which is called Block Market. And then that API, I suppose they're saying, is going to be certified by Microsoft and part of that Azure platform.
Oh, sick.
Which, of course, makes it very accessible to people that actually might want to use it and gives it some level of credibility, I think, is their idea there. They also have on their roadmap something called Project Mongoose, and I just really wanted to say that because I thought it was the most hilarious. Just a great cryptic name for something to be on a roadmap. Like, there's something here. It's Project Mongoose. But I liked that. I thought it was hilarious.
That's going to be really bad for my Project Meerkat that I was planning on releasing.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, that's cool. Once again, kind of the same story as with GridCoin. It's just cool to see a coin that's sticking to their ongoing development. SysCoin, hilariously, kind of got famous for the wrong reason in that their IPO was hosted by MintPal.
Yeah, and something happened to a bunch of funds.
They lost them all.
MintPal had a bunch of SysCoin that just disappeared eventually.
Yeah, MintPal escrowed the SysCoin ICO, and then obviously the dude just took off with all the money because that was kind of his deal.
Well, I want to say Moolah was part of it too. I think they were the escrow, weren't they?
Yeah, Moolah was the guy who bought MintPal.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, and actually, again, like you're saying, a coin that's been around for a while. It's obviously had a rough start, but those guys really have my respect. The team to stick around after it went so bad initially. We've seen so many developers come and go that just say, I'm done. It's just a dead coin after that. To see them really stick around and make these updates and a contender with, a top tier type of coin. It's really moved its way up. I mean, those 90 Satoshi days are long gone.
Right. Yeah, you can't really hope to pick up the coin at that price anymore. So when you look at those, it's like, okay, well, it's alive still.
Yeah, it's never going to get back to that point. Yeah, it's funny, like what you said, most coin developers will get the ICO funds and then bail. And the SysCoin developers lost the ICO funds and stayed, which is like...
True.
Honestly, that's like...
I mean, if that's not motivation, or reassurance to investors, I don't know what it is. I want to say they raised a good amount, too, at the time. It was a pretty large ICO, back in 2014.
Yeah, for its time period, I think you're right.
It was pretty big. Everybody's wanted those hats, and I don't know if you guys remember the SysCoin hats and keychains where they were going, but obviously nobody got those. But if you hung in there, you could have done really well.
And their roadmap goes all the way through 2017 and has quite a few bullet points on it. They all focus around this blockchain market, or block market, basically, which kind of, they describe it at one point in here as opening up to being sort of as a Shopify or a Magento, which makes me think that people would open up stores, right? And it would all sort of be somehow unified under one thing. But that's a little bit of me taking what they're saying and going with it.
Yeah. And I think they also had like some Zcash integration also. I don't know the details regarding that. Did you guys catch that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they have a few different altcoins that they've integrated into their like decentralized market kind of beta thing that they're offering, and Zcash is one of the ones. So they're kind of trying to be on the forefront there of like, oh, you can use your Zcash here, I think, which might leave their own coin on the sideline a little bit, but still cool.
True.
But so that's SysCoin, and another one with a little update. We'll be keeping our eye on their roadmap progress through 2017.
Alrighty. In the darker side of crypto this week, a disgruntled trader on the Chinese exchange Huobi apparently threatened the staff this week, claiming he was going to stand outside the headquarters with a knife and just go after anybody who came by.
Yeah, ridiculous. And I wonder what, like, it must have been a fairly serious threat to make it to that type of level of news, I guess, right? Because people make stupid-ass threats all the time that don't seem credible whatsoever.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how this got out into the mainstream, but still a little bit alarming, but not altogether surprising considering everything that's happened this week, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe he was short during the pump.
Yeah. I'm sure he lost everything when, it's like you trade on these exchanges and then the website goes down and it's like, oh, well, shit.
Well, and the people are claiming that there's shady shit going on, and that they're not getting their fair chance to trade, right?
Yeah, and you could make a pretty good argument that there is shady shit going on, but then if that's the case, why did you have all your money on the exchange?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the crypto mentality that we've had to accept since we got into this, was to be responsible for our coins. Unfortunately, for better or worse.
That's what I was going to say. An exchange shady? It's like I don't leverage trade. I really don't leverage trade that much anymore. But I know when I did, and OroCoin had U.S. users, there was times where the same stuff frees up, and you're like, "What happened? Did your order go through? It didn't go through." Yeah, they definitely do some shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. You'll set a stop limit or a stop loss, and it'll clear like $30 below your loss.
Yeah.
Like, totally. What happened with that one? But yeah, I mean, I traded on those exchanges too, and it's it is what it is. You just kind of, we've said it before. Like when you put your money on an exchange, you don't own it anymore. You're kind of giving them the faith that they will properly account for your money, but you don't, in the crypto sense, you don't truly own it at that point, and you have to be able to. Well, and
you can no longer check the blockchain or rely on that type of information necessarily. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, just be careful out there. Don't stand outside the Huobi headquarters. This week is my advice on that one.
Yeah. One more piece of news we got for you this week.
Also out of China.
The People's Bank of China tells Chinese exchanges to quit faking volume and to stop doing some other weird stuff too.
Yeah, I thought this was a really interesting kind of notice coming down from the People's Bank of China this week. Just essentially, a lot of people were kind of scared for the worst of like another China bans Bitcoin type episode. But it mostly just worked out to them saying, we're cool with Bitcoin, but you guys need to reel it in a little bit.
Right. So no faking orders, no kind of advertising.
Yeah, no offline advertising, so no like billboards, magazine ads, none of that stuff. And they said that they couldn't mention the devaluation of the Chinese yuan.
Right. I thought that one was really interesting.
Yeah, I do too. It just goes to show kind of the lengths that they're willing to go to protect the, I guess, reputation of their currency.
Right. They wouldn't want that to be the reasoning behind people's decision, I guess. They don't want to encourage that type of thought. And they can make laws to do it. Amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. Really, for me as a trader, the news here is about the faking volume. Like, it always kind of boggles my mind when people are like, they'll look at the Chinese exchange volume and be like, oh my God, people bought 5 million Bitcoins last week. It's like,
They turned on the volumizer.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I kind of wonder, I really do wonder how those volumizers actually work. Like, there's kind of 3 ways I can see it shaking out. The exchange itself actually just makes up the numbers. The exchange essentially contracts a third party to fake volume on the exchange because there's no fees. Or it could just be that the biggest whales on the exchange fake the volume themselves in order to benefit their own positions.
At their own expense.
Yeah.
Well, there's no expense because they don't have trading fees.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I've always
I don't think we're on that level.
So yeah, I'm curious to know like who's actually doing the faking of the volume. But at any rate, it seems like it had an effect because at least I saw a tweet of somebody that was like, "Oh look, OKCoin's volumizer just turned off."
Yeah, but they were mistaken on their little picture too.
Were they?
Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah. But
So-
yeah, interesting stuff.
Is the volume just back to crazy levels then?
It's just normal at this point.
Oh.
Nothing seems to have changed as far as the volume goes.
No, don't worry, guys. This is totally normal.
Right. Well, I imagine that part of that is a burden of proof too, right?
Yeah,
They can't do anything that can be proven to be fake volume.
that's probably true.
You can still fake volume and get away with it. But whatever that means, right?
Yeah, I think when the People's Bank of China is on your balls,
They're probably pretty good at figuring that stuff out.
the burden of proof might be the standard might be a little different.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
So yeah, that's it for the regular news. And next we are going to jump into the markets. But first, if you guys have any news or you see anything out there that you want us to mention, please stop by the Cryptopia thread or the website and let us know.
The first little bit of market fun, we were going to start off with a really great outlier today on Neobit, was this limited coin got pumped to 17 Bitcoins in price.
Per coin?
Yep.
Oh my god.
I just thought that was that's funny stuff.
That's beautiful.
It was some extremely low supply ICO coin. Like they ICO'd somewhere below 1,000 coins, or just, like very few coins, and I don't know what happened after that. But it was already trading at some stupid price, like half a Bitcoin for a long time, being flat, and then somebody just bought it up to 17 Bitcoins.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Wow.
great example of just market manipulation at its some extreme numbers, perhaps.
Dude, I'd love to know the economics of that too. Like, as much as I want to know the economics of like the volumizers on the big exchanges, I'm equally curious as to what it looks like behind the scenes on one of these Yobit flash pumps because they're so just ridiculous.
Totally.
As far as the other market news this week, I don't know. Did anything happen with Bitcoin this week?
Right.
Seemed like it was just pretty sideways.
Yeah, last Sunday when we were talking, it was just made it over $1,000 basically.
Yep.
We were pretty excited.
Then it got up to like what, 1150 on U.S. exchanges.
Yep.
And then we just did a small 40% correction or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, crazy week for Bitcoin traders. It was funny. All week I've been like, not all week, but it kind of in this run up, I've been kind of lamenting that I wasn't still margin trading Bitcoin versus USD. And then I thought about it and I was like, there's absolutely no way if I had been margin trading BTC USD since like it was $500. There's absolutely no way I would have made more money than I made just by not selling my Bitcoin anyway.
Yeah, it's so much work.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, and the same thing, same here. Unless you're in early, like you're saying, like $500-$600, getting in at 8 or 9 to go long, definitely risky business. And I consider it myself, but I was like, no, I'm just going to get chopped up. It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that obviously the chop showed up. The shit dumped like 40%. We're back at like $900 now, but just kind of, it's fun to see the flip side of the coin. At first, it's like they scare you a little bit, when it drops 40% in an hour, you kind of got to wonder like, oh shit, is it over?
Yeah.
Is this the end? This is the end of the pump, which it's obviously the end of this leg of the pump. Like it's probably going to be a little while before we test that high again, but
Right. But it's still so much higher than it was. I mean, I feel fine.
I feel
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here. And as an altcoin trader, you ultimately do want Bitcoin to succeed and be priced well, but at the same time, if you're holding altcoins, you're kind of like, all right, slow down a little bit. You could take a breather,
For sure.
Let me get some more Bitcoin, and then go ahead and go for 3,000 or whatever the crazy numbers people are throwing out there. But I'm kind of glad to see it cool down a little bit personally, just because I am an alt guy, and I know you guys enjoy those alts too. So it's nice to see that get some more attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and alts have definitely felt the effect this week. Bitcoin was down about 9% overall on the week. That's kind of the backdrop of everything. But Ethereum, I think, surprised everybody. That shit's up 27% against US dollar this week, up 40% versus Bitcoin. So finally, the turnaround for ETH, I guess. Everyone was kind of wondering where the floor was. Looks like we found it.
At least for now. You feeling it? You think that's it?
Yeah, definitely. I don't.
Nice.
I think it'll be. I don't think it'll go back to 0.007 for a while at least.
Yeah.
And kind of a little bit of disappointing performance from the ETH Classic crew this week. I thought with ETH pumping they would give it a go or something, but they've been quiet. Maybe they're waiting.
Waiting and watching.
I guess. Overall,
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying, they have been pretty quiet, and it still surprises me that ETH is still performing as well, just with so many forks they've had. It really is mind-boggling, but I don't mind it. Last year they seemed to kind of trigger the alts are back, in early January.
Yep.
So if it wants to make another go for it, hey, I'm in for the ride.
It kind of seemed like Monero, like last week we were talking about maybe Monero being like the next coin that would lead the charge or whatever. And now it's like, oh, apparently the ETH market maker is not shown the last of what they've got.
Right. I mean, you can't just try not to forget somehow that we'd never seen volumes like that on Poloniex before
Ever.
Ethereum did that craziness.
Yeah, it's true.
It just changed everything.
Yep.
Volume-wise.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I want to say there was a couple days where both, ETH and XMR had over $10,000 or
Right.
10,000 Bitcoin volume. I want to say last week or fairly recently, both of them had it. So,
Yeah.
and I think we're taking a look at the users on Polo too. I thought I saw something that hit 11,000 users online at one point, which I thought was all-time high or up there. I don't know if there's tracking stats, but definitely more than what it's been in the last few months.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's really cool. That would be a really great indicator to actually have access to. Would be a chart of Poloniex user data, just because there's such a huge percentage of alts at this point that it would probably be pretty telling for what's kind of is coming in the future.
Exactly.
As far as the rest of the altcoin markets, if you include Ethereum, the top altcoins this week gained about 8.6% total versus US dollar, and about plus 20% versus Bitcoin. So it seems like maybe kind of people hedging their Bitcoin with altcoins was really starting to happen this week. And it seemed like they were mainly doing it with ETH, obviously. Because if you look at the markets without Ethereum, the top 100 altcoins actually lost about 1.8% in their USD market.
Okay.
So actually not a great week for alts if you don't factor in the huge Ethereum pump.
Yeah.
And if we kind of zoom out a little bit, looking over the last 10 weeks, a couple weeks ago, alts were down about 20% versus USD over kind of their previous highs. They've almost completely made that back. Alts are now only down 3% over the last 10 weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited about that little statistic.
So yeah, 2 weeks, the altcoin markets gained in 2 weeks what they had lost over a couple of months. Kind of tells you that, first off, alts are back, I guess, a little bit, but it's also a little bit nervous because it makes you wonder maybe they bounce back a little too quick. Like, if they're already coming back to approaching their old highs, that could mean that they might be a little overbought already.
Yeah.
But I'll take my chances.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun to try to, look at all the altcoins this week and sort of fill up my bags, I guess is the term, right?
Totally.
I'm looking at which ones I think might go up quicker than the others at this point.
Yeah, I filled up a few bags and they're all sideways, and I'm watching everything else go up 20%. I'm like, damn it.
Right, exactly. There's always the ones that are going up right at that moment, and got to make those decisions, I guess, individually.
As far as
chase it or not.
Yeah, totally. As far as our individual gainers and losers this week, the biggest gainers this week, we have CreditBit plus 417%, TrumpCoin plus 84%, Decred plus 83%, and SiaCoin at plus 66%.
Okay.
I don't know what the deal is with CreditBit. I saw some people tweeting about the developers are back or something.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Same here, maybe some revival. I don't know myself.
That's really high percentage number.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of developer makes a post on Bitcoin Talk and the coin goes up 400%. That's like, oh.
Maybe just wait for it to go back down 1,000%.
Yeah, it just means I won't be buying it. It's like people can have fun with it, but I'm not going to buy it after that kind of spike.
But cool to see it in the top. Trump's just continuing to do weird stuff.
It's a steamroller of a Yobit pump, man. It's pretty funny. Trump and DubaiCoin are like my two Yobit benchmarks right now, and kind of for the health of that exchange, and they seem to be doing fine.
Yeah. Good to see Decred popping up a little bit, and SiaCoin we talked about earlier.
Yep.
On the loser side, Nautlius coin down 33%, Unobtanium dropping 29%, Xaurum down 22%, and GridCoin down 20% this week.
Kind of happy to see Nautilus going down. I would just kind of like it if Nautilus just kind of disappeared from the scene.
Oh yeah, should that one have been on the D list instead of one of those others? You think?
No, there were some good coins on the D list, and so it wouldn't make sense for Nautilus to be on there.
Right.
No, I give him a hard time. I probably would have been shilling Nautilus if I had any when it was up 30x, but it's just got like the shittiest looking chart I've ever seen for a Polo coin.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yep, that'll wrap up our look into the markets this week. And next we're going to jump into a random coin spotlight.
That's right. We like to just roll a random number and check out a couple coins. First coin is in the top 100 market caps, and it is Vslice.
All right, you probably or maybe have not heard of Vslice. I certainly didn't remember a damn thing about it until you looked this one up.
Yep, I remembered it just because it got listed on LiveCoin recently, but that's all I knew about it. So I looked up a little bit about it, and it was it's an Ethereum meta token, is what they call it. So it's a token within the Ethereum blockchain. It's basically a series of a few different smart contracts. And the ultimate idea here is that these V-slices are mechanisms for profit sharing on the vdice.io website.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
Did you check out the website? No.
Oh, a little bit. I mean, it's just a pretty regular-looking dice site, except you're betting in Ethereum.
All right.
Yeah.
It's funny to me that dice has become like the preferred form of gambling in the crypto community. I don't think I would have guessed that.
It's just really quick and easy. You know what's funny is people bought that stuff, too. It's like you can't even be bothered to actually roll the dice. Just algorithmically roll the dice as fast as possible.
That's true. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, I've never bought any type of Ethereum meta token before, that's for sure.
No, I can't say that I have either. But most of them sell out 15 minutes after the IPO starts, so you don't even have a choice.
Yeah.
Right.
They got first blood.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It looks like the top exchange on this coin is an exchange called Liqui.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? I've never heard of them.
It just seemed like they have kind of a interesting spattering of coins on there, but
they have ETH. It looks like it's just ETH tokens.
Interestingly, the highest volume one was the Golem.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That Golem token. So yeah, you're right. Those are a lot of sort of Ethereum smart contract tokens.
Yeah, totally.
That are on there.
Weird.
And then they've also got Steam and Litecoin.
All right. Just a bunch of Coin 2.0 type shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Vslice is out there, I guess. Now you can say you've heard of it.
Yeah, I have no idea how the profit sharing works out economically, but I noticed that as far as using it's concerned, it basically locks your tokens for a period of time, and they're collateral or something for the Vdice site.
Okay.
And then at some point, you have some interest in there, and you can either pull it out or let it ride.
All right. Right on.
All right. Let's take a look at another random coin, shall we?
Do it.
This coin was somewhere in the 100 to 300 range for market caps, and it was RateCoin.
RateCoin, XRA. Okay, so this kind of looks like at one point it was an interesting coin. It doesn't seem like it's doing much these days.
No, by a lot of standards, it's probably a dead coin. But it also is still being traded. It was started by the Bitcoin Talk user PressTab, who some people know from making some really cool block explorers. And some other stuff. Yeah, he's got really awesome block explorers. But at some point, he passed it on to some group called Crypto City. And it has some interesting staking parameters. Basically, the larger the stake age of your input, the higher percentage stake you get.
All right.
So I guess that would mean, what, you leave your wallet locked for the 256 maximum days, and then you get the 25.6% on the unlock?
I think
How else would you build up the age without...
that's interesting. Okay. Based on the age of the input that is used in the stake transaction. Yeah, so unless there's a maximum, you'd want to keep your wallet locked until you get to the maximum,
which is that 25.6289% after 256 days.
And then you'd unlock it, and you'd want to hit a block. Yep.
Yeah.
So you'd probably it'd be like the opposite of high pos, where you want to split your inputs up. You'd want to have like one big input.
Yeah.
And then you'd hold it until it hits the max or close to the max, let it stake, and then just rinse and repeat.
So I thought it was an interesting experiment, but I also felt like, it's weird to see a coin that's not it's basically the incentive is to not be staking. Keep your wallet closed for 256 days.
Yeah, that is a little odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember when this coin launched, I was like at a moment where I was trying to mine every coin that came out. And so I had been doing that, and I had been mining a bunch of really shitty coins that, as you might expect, never went anywhere. And then I missed this coin somehow, totally didn't see it, or whatever, didn't mine it. Mined a bunch of coins that launched before and after it, and then this was like the coin that pumped, and it was really distressing for me.
Oh, yeah.
It affected my trading strategy. I was like, God damn it. But at least, it died eventually, but...
Yeah, and their website currently seems to redirect to fling.com, so I think it might be done.
Not a good sign.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It's pretty funny that a coin that's basically done can still be top 300 market cap, but...
Right.
Whatever. Who knows? Maybe RateCoin's still got a future ahead of it.
First, I thought when it showed me pictures of women when I went to their thing, I thought it was going to be like sort of a hotornot.com thing with like a crypto, like rate me coin.
Oh, I get it. Nice. Yeah, that's funny.
But no, that was wrong.
Alrighty. That is going to do it for our random coins this week. And next we're going to do our Mineum Giveaway.
Nice.
It's time for the big Mineum Giveaway. What's the price here? 500?
Yes.
Alrighty, sweet. So this is how it's going to go down. You want to win some Mineum, because who wouldn't?
Right.
What you're going to do is send a direct message to our Twitter account. That's @ChainDynamics. And then you're going to send us the answer to the question, on what date was the Genesis block of the Mineum blockchain generated?
That's right. First person to send me the correct answer to that question and their Mineum address will get the 500 Mineum.
Oh, shit. So yeah, do it.
Good luck.
Once again, that Twitter is @ChainDynamics. And to get the Mineum, you're going to send us a direct message with the date of the Mineum Genesis block and Mineum address. Big shout out to Mineum. Really cool that they're doing this, helping us do this giveaway.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a cool little project. It's basically like, what if this idea of cloud mining or distributed mining farm was real? They're actually doing it, and you can kind of see how it might actually work, and it's cool. Love it.
Yep. Smaller one compared to some of the better-known ones.
Yeah, but the better-known ones are, in my opinion, they're not as cool.
Not quite as straightforward, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to our new coins.
Alrighty, we always love to watch those new coins here at Chain Dynamics. We got a big old list of new coins for you this week.
Up first, TradeCoin.
Alrighty, TradeCoin. So not much to see here. It's just like there's this gimmick lately where people will have a coin with like 10 billion coins, and then they'll say it's a 1% pre-mine, but that still works out to, in this case, 170 million coins, and it's obvious that they just are trying to dump it for one set.
Yeah. It is trading already, though, so who knows? Maybe the person will generate, they own so many of the coins. It's pretty much up to that person at this point. What's going to happen, right?
Totally.
So
that's trade.
Possibilities are endless, but it's not really up to anyone but him.
Yeah. That many coins up front are always a little sketchy in my eyes. I'm always a little hesitant with those, knowing that there's so many coins. Do you know what kind of blocks they have?
Not very
pretty high rewards.
No, the way this scam works on this one is that he says it's only a 1% pre-mine, but the block halving rate is every 840,000 blocks. It looks like it's 10,000 per block.
Yeah.
And so it turns out that the 1% pre-mine is actually like, hundreds of thousands of blocks or whatever. It's stupid. That's TradeCoin. Next on the list here, HealthyWormCoin.
HealthyWormCoin. I texted Brando about this one during the week because I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't realize that I Got Spots had put out another coin this week.
He's back?
Yeah, he's back.
You might recall I Got Spots kind of posted a dramatic farewell to the crypto game. I think to the surprise of just about nobody, he has made he's made his triumphant return.
His experiments.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And this one is right in line with his types of experiments that he does here.
Yeah, this is everything that I Got Spots kind of loves to do. It's got a really high staking rate at, looks like 2017%. So it's like a 2017 theme, obviously.
Yep.
2017% stake rate until the block 2 million, until block 2017, basically. So you got to wonder, I wish I would have done the math here. It's got really low rewards, right? So,
yeah, very low. And also that inverse relationship between difficulty and block reward.
Right, yep. That's always something to watch out for. This looks like it would have, in true Spots fashion, this would have been just so sweet to insta-mine right off the bat.
If you were one of the first 3 miners, it would have just been amazing.
Glorious.
Yeah.
But now the rewards are down to like 0.04 per coin, which, you don't even, in order to even get in on the stake, you have to have a kind of a minimum number of coins just to be able to hit blocks and stuff. So it's going to be kind of challenging for people, I think, who try to get into it now.
Yeah.
It's got a big old pre-mine, which is unusual for a Spots coin. But at least compared to a lot of this pre-mine kind of shitty coins lately, he's not staking it, and the address of the pre-mine is known. So if there's any funny business, at least you'll have a chance. But yeah, I was kind of excited to see this coin, and it's probably a little too late to mine it now, but
I went for it anyway. Started today.
it might work out, man. Kind of my rule on these high stake coins is like, and
I just want to get enough to stake, like you were saying. I just need that minimum amount, and then if I can get that 2017% stake rate going, I guess then I'll be looking okay.
Yeah, exactly.
At least momentarily.
until it's inevitable.
I've just always wanted. There's been so many Spots coins that have come and gone that I've missed out on at this point, because I'm always so slow to pull the trigger, and I was slower than I should have been on this one once again. But at least I'm trying to learn.
I respect it, man. It's fun to actually even have a coin that's worth mining too. So I always gotta give my salute to I Got Spots. I love that guy.
Yep. Welcome back, I guess.
What's the name he's going by now? Supposedly his real name.
This is his he's going by
Feff.
Feff.
P-F-E-F-F.
Yep.
He's back.
All right. StaxCoin.
Alrighty, what do we got here? This is a high pre-mine wallet builders. So, not really worth looking at.
Nope.
Next up we have LAHCoin. This has big dumb graphics and a big dumb pre-mine.
Yeah, they got the format right.
Graphics plus pre-mine.
Yeah.
It also could be a virus. So.
Yeah, people were saying it probably is.
Kind of been the theme the last few months with newer launches. I really haven't been keeping a close eye on them just because it's been a lot of that.
It really has been.
Yeah, if you haven't been watching launches, you've pretty much saved yourself a bunch of wasted time because they've been pretty ugly lately. But plus, you always got the blockchain boys here. We'll keep track of the launches for you.
We'll keep track of them.
Yeah.
We'll dig through the shitty posts.
So that was LAHCoin. ReddByteCoin also came out.
Yep. So this is a funny launch. This dude, he announces that it's going to be a no pre-mine coin. To the surprise of nobody, somebody checks the source code and there's a huge pre-mine in it. And so then he's like, "Oh, that was a mistake. That was an accident. I'm going to totally relaunch this coin with no pre-mine, and it's going to be good." And so he did that. He recompiled the pre-mine, or recompiles the coin and launches it with no pre-mine. And it seems like people are actually eating it up. They're like, "Oh, great, I'm mining."
Cool. Well, that's sometimes a relaunch hasn't turned out so bad.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's like a virus.
It makes you suspect of the developer's capabilities. It's like, if you couldn't leave out the pre-mine, I mean, what really are you going to be able to do moving forward?
Right. Yeah. He was either so careless that he just accidentally did it, or he thought nobody would notice. There's really not a lot in between.
Maybe it's like a long con to lure people away or something, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Have you seen that before? What coin was that? Was Syncs? Didn't they have something where it was like a virus that was launched initially, so everybody just kind of blew it off, but then it really took off? Yes. SYNX?
Yeah, Syndicate. Syndicate launched.
Or Syndicate, yes.
There was a big virus scare, and that's exactly what happened, that's funny you mentioned that, because I mined Syndicate right after the virus scare, and I ended up getting in with a break-even of 27 Satoshis. It was my biggest profit and loss ever. I sold my average buy sell on Syndicate was 300x. It's funny. That was good. That was a good one for me. So yeah, that was funny. So yeah, the virus thing can be a red herring, but Syndicate kind of gave you the feeling that there was an intelligent developer behind it, and that is not the case with ReddByteCoin here.
Next up, we were noticing MRSA coin.
This is just another huge pre-mine trash coin.
Not much there.
Crypto Streets coin is also next, and it's kind of the same story. This had a 100 block proof of work.
Wow, that's fast.
That might be the shortest I've ever seen. But it also had a huge pre-mine, so no good.
Wow. And then just some proof of stake after that, huh?
Yep.
I bet we'll see that one get listed, though.
Yeah, it'll be like a fake Yobit volume coin probably or something. We also had LubeCoin launch this week.
Yeah, this one...
Great name.
Yeah, hilarious name, and just not great. Some absurd numbers getting thrown around inside the thread.
Yeah, the developers, the specs are totally disconnected from reality at this point. They're just it's like they're submitting to wallet builders with a random number generator. Just give me some random
Yeah.
coin.
In this case, the developer claimed that there was a maximum coins of over 18 quintillion.
Yeah.
That wouldn't really be possible for him to really get to that point, because the block rewards number, even though it was really high, it was 600,000 coins per block. That would still be just forever before they made it to their 18 quintillion.
Yeah, exactly.
But regardless of that, we'd like to think about if they did manage to get 18 quintillion coins into existence, then even at 1 Litoshi, they would be valuing the blockchain at about 786,000 bitcoins. Think about it that way.
Jeez,
that feels real to me.
And also be valuing it at more than the number of Litecoins available.
Good.
Yeah, at current prices. So.
Sounds.
Well, if you think about it, it only needs to get to 5 Litoshi, and then it's worth more than Bitcoin. That's easy money.
Yeah.
No, as always, like these shitcoin developers, they just set this. They'll set the max money parameter in the wallet to something really high, and they'll be like, "Okay, that's the maximum supply." But as has been pointed out quite a few times at this point, like that number, that max money parameter, it has nothing to do with the actual amount of coins in the blockchain. And so anytime somebody's citing it or basing a pre-mine off of it or really even mentioning it, it's like a huge indicator that this developer is just kind of clueless.
Yep.
So yeah, don't forget to check out LubeCoin, I guess.
This one sort of fell into the other category. It is Rubies 2. And
Rubies.
it's an NXT asset that people can... Not to be confused with RubyCoin, by the way.
Right.
There's that Rubies. This is an NXT asset that people are swapping Rubies to.
Okay.
So they've burned the Rubies, and then they get Rubies 2, which is an NXT asset. It's somehow tied in with these websites, BetterBets.io and MoneyPot.com, some sort of profit sharing for all that. So that's just, I think we saw that earlier too, right? That's such a theme right now, the profit sharing being what I'm speaking of.
Yeah, you're saying with the dice game, Money Pot's more up my alley. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will give them credit. The name of Rubies 2, the ticker is R2B2.
Yeah, I saw that too. I
That's
like
fun.
that.
They also have a little R2D2 logo. I like that too. I'm sure Disney loves it when people impinge on their copyrights. So.
I love the idea of profit sharing at like its base level, but to make it actually worthwhile, so difficult from an investment standpoint, compared to the other investments available, I guess is what I mean.
Yep. Well, we can see Mineum's a great example of an actual upfront, like kind of legit profit sharing setup.
Right.
And it just kind of goes to show just how, realistic the theme is. It's not like, on most of these coins, they're like, you're going to make 5% per day or something. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Right. Much lower.
One thing that's interesting to me about this, what does it mean to be an NXT asset in the age of Ardor, Is it an Ardor asset too? Will people be releasing Ardor assets? Or does this actually just stick with the old NXT blockchain? I don't know.
It's a good question. And why did they choose NXT over Ardor?
Yeah, exactly. Probably because it's
better known.
Yeah.
Easier for people to use at this point.
Yep. So yeah, that's out there. It's kind of more interesting to check out, I guess, but it's not really a normal blockchain either.
And for the time being, we're kind of just naming ICOs off rather than looking deep into them. Because people want to hear more about them, they're always free to let us know. This week we noticed BestChain, LiveNetwork, OroCoin, BitCoinEmpire, Taskie, Gold Mining Tech, and BitMox.
Yep, just a normal list of ICOs there. It's pretty funny, these coins like BitMox is one where it's like a C-Cex IPO. It's incredible to me that people can have this business model of please buy something that the value is going to drop 95% on in one day, and they still get, people still sign up for it. It's incredible.
I don't think that'll last for very much longer. I could be totally wrong, but how can that be worthwhile for anyone? It's weird.
Who knows?
How is it worthwhile for the person putting it on, and how is it worthwhile for the investors and the exchange or anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
But it exists. World of altcoins. Taking a look back through our new coins this week. Bitcoin Dad, anything catch your eye?
New coin wise, no, not necessarily. Like I said, I haven't really been keeping a closer eye on the launches, but the few altcoins in general that I like and I've been accumulating for a while. I like to see DigiByte finally making a move, and SysCoin is another coin that I like. It looks like it's bounced off its lows, but other than that, it looks like from what I'm seeing, it looks like a lot of the mid cap coins are kind of getting some action. The coins right around, right under 100, 50 to 100. It looks like some money's flowing there, so I've been kind of keeping my eye on those altcoins. Yeah,
I think that's kind of a cool approach. The last go around last year when alts came back, as they say, it seemed like it was some, like you said, the mid-market cap coins and mostly older coins that led the charge. I'm thinking about VertCoin, and there were a couple others that just kind of when it seemed like alts were totally dead, they kind of came out of nowhere and actually pumped. And it's...
I think BlackCoin might have also.
Yep, yeah, BlackCoin came back a little bit. It's like they're kind of good indicators to watch for the overall market. Is like, how are some of these older, more established kind of pump coins doing? But yeah, as far as the new coins,
how do you guys feel?
Go ahead.
How do you guys feel about the BTCE coins? A lot of people think like the name coins and peer coins are going to kind of tag along. I'm not too sold on that necessarily.
I'm on board. I mean, obviously they won't all take off, but there's definitely going to be some. PeerCoin seems like the most likely one, I guess, but it's like it just goes back to the other thing. It seems like the longer the game goes on, the more you have to rely on looking at old coins and trying to value old coins versus trying to value new coins. Like, as a trader in 2014 and in early 2015 at least, you could live entirely on new coins. You wouldn't even have to look at anything that was more than 3 months old, and you'd be fine. And now we're seeing that all the action now is in coins that are older than that. And as time goes on, it's just going to work out just kind of by definition that the action's going to continually be on coins with kind of an older age.
I think that's why when you see those ones that were in our news, GridCoin and SysCoin, when there's actual plans for a 3-year-old coin to keep going for 3 more years, that's pretty encouraging.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, this week the only one I'm going to keep an eye on is HealthyWormCoin, and just to see what happens.
Yep, I'll be keeping an eye on that one as well.
But it's an actual miner's coin. You can mine it, and you can play with it, unlike most of the coins we've seen lately, which is cool.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to jump into those coin listings. We'll start it off with the mining pools. SuprNova this week listed a coin, and it was
HealthyWormCoin.
Yep.
That's the only pool that we've really been following at this point. Let us know which pools you'd like us to cover listings of, and we'll give you some dots, and we'll start covering those pools.
That's true.
Then over on the exchange sides of things, taking a look at Cryptopia, they listed CareerCoin, KoboCoin, The Chief Coin, Game Units, TradeCoin, SellinCoin, GPU Coin, ICO Bid.
Ready? Interesting little list there from Cryptopia.
Yeah.
Nothing from Poloniex and Bittrex this week, as usual.
Right. The next exchange up with anything is C-Cex, which listed TAO.
Tau coin. I've been hearing... Okay, TAO coin I've been hearing a little bit about, but I don't actually know anything about it. Do you know what the story is there, Bitcoin Dad?
Well, I know it's music related. I don't know the details exactly behind it, but it has been launched for the last few months. It is Tau, but I believe the symbol is XTO. I think it's still Tau listed on LiveCoin exchange. But yeah, it's something that's been launched a couple months ago, and it looks like it's starting to pick up some traction here and has some pretty good volume so far in C-Cex.
Interesting. So that's TAO or XTO, I guess, Tau coin. Nothing this week that we saw on Nova or LiveCoin.
CoinExchange.io listed FedoraCoin, a.k.a. Tips, Mooncoin, Bitcoin Plus, Landcoin, Tattoo. They put a Dodge versus Litecoin pair up, and GreenCoin version 2.
Okay, cool. We also had Kraken, kind of one of the bigger fiat exchanges this week, listed Monero.
Yep, honorable mention.
So that's pretty cool.
We don't usually cover Kraken ads because they don't add stuff normally.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah, Monero though just continuing to pick up steam, I guess, and that's going to be a fun one to watch. That does it for the listings this week. I think probably the Monero listing is by far the biggest news there.
Yep, I agree.
And for our last segment, we're going to jump into our coin birthdays.
Yeah, we like to pay homage to blockchains that go past their genesis dates. On the 2-year side of things, we got Paycon.
Paycon, this was made to make fun of the great altcoin Paycoin.
Yeah, it was going to be like the honest version of Paycoin or something, but it was called Paycon. And I think Brando once said that he'd never seen a developer do so much work for nobody giving a shit as this guy.
It's true, man. That's pretty much just how it went down. The guy would like always be in the troll box, and you'd just like be posting all the updates and be like, "This is what I did with Paycon this week." And then nobody would take the coin seriously because it's called Paycon, and poor guy.
So happy 2 year there.
Must have had a bunch of hashlets.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Hashlets. That's funny.
This 3 year one was kind of fun to see pop up too. It's DobsCoin.
Yeah, DobsCoin. Do you remember this one, Bitcoin Dad?
I do, but I really didn't dig into it much. It's obviously old school coin.
So the most interesting thing about it is that it was the one coin that Bittrex let be tipped in their Slack, or I mean in the IRC channel.
Yeah, it was like some kind of inside joke. The whole coin is like, I mean, it's obviously a joke coin. If you look at the thread, it's a pretty funny one, and people would post about the spirit of Bob Dobbs and such things, and you could tip DobsCoin to people in the Bittrex chat, and it was just kind of a funny inside joke. Up until the tragic moment that it got delisted from Bittrex.
Yeah, we were shocked to see that it wasn't even there today. But it is being traded elsewhere, so they get to be on the birthday list.
So even an insider joke coin is not exempt from the Bittrex hand of fate.
Yep.
But big congrats to them for their 3-year birthday.
And then the final birthday this week, gonna have to wish Bitcoin a happy 8-year.
Yep, our favorite shitcoin here on the show, Bitcoin. Notorious Instamine, Anonymous Dev Coin,
Yeah.
BitCoin.
Yep. A lot of infighting.
A lot of hard forks.
Numerous hacks.
Hacks.
But it's made it. It's made it this far.
8 years. That's awesome.
And it seems to be going pretty well, honestly.
I can't wait till we're doing 8-year birthdays for coins, like just totally random ass coins. Like,
Yeah.
8-year birthday this week of RateCoin.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, congrats to Bitcoin. Thanks, Satoshi. What a guy.
Thanks.
And I think with that, we are going to wrap up here on Blockchain Dynamics. It's been really fun. We want to give a huge thanks to you, Bitcoin Dad, for coming on. It's been really fun chatting with you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Had a good time.
We are, of course, brought to you by Cryptopia.co.nz. Not just an exchange, but a whole platform. But they do have a great exchange.
Yep.
And I would highly recommend checking them out.
Growing by the day.
Yeah, it's true. As always, stop by the forums there. Hit us up in the altcoin section. Leave us a comment, and we'll throw you some dots.
Also, go over to blockchaindynamics.net and vote in our awards ceremony so that we can get some just some more input. Be nice to get larger pool base of votes.
Yeah, just vote. It's fun.
And then finally, our theme is by Grammatic, and this is Error by Trial Radio. Blockchain Dynamics number 45. See you next week with heavier bags.
Peace.
See ya.
Currency.
Stuck a couple Bitcoins.
Money, though.
Pull up on my Nakamoto.